You gave up a TV job to start a podcast in your basement. If that doesn't scream midlife crisis, I don't know what does.
It was Championship Sunday here in Indianapolis.
What's the mindset then coming in as a defending champion?
I want to win. No, I want to win.
The young lady over my shoulder, Caitlin Clark.
Not the best looking guy. And I don't think anyone's going to sit here and say, Matt Randazzo was really good looking.
What has this last month, 2 months, 3 months been like for you?
It's an important fan base for the Fighting Illini, is it not?
It is.
He turned 69 years young last week. He looked good, Coach.
Oh, try it. Thank you.
Welcome to Off the Air with Matt Randazzo here on a Tuesday in the Quad Cities. Tuesday, October 28th. Thank you guys so much for joining us. It looks like a gloomy, dreary Tuesday here in the Quad Cities or wherever you're at around the area. So no good reason not to. Just, grab a computer, grab whatever you watch the show on, and enjoy the next 2 hours because we have a bunch of things to get to. It should be a fun show. If you're watching us live on YouTube, thank you. Make sure you're subscribed. If you haven't subscribed, please do so ASAP. Also tell as many people as you can find about what we're doing each and every weekday right here in the Quad Cities, talking sports and a whole bunch more. Also, we're live on X. X has been very, very good to us. So if you're on X, we appreciate that. Give us the feedback, all those kind of things. If you're watching on YouTube, the chat is slowly but surely starting to rock and roll. It was funny. When I first started doing the show, the chat was very active, but I was overwhelmed, if that makes any sense. So I wasn't able to do as much with the chat as well. Now I'm getting a little better at delegating and being able to multitask a little more. The technology is easier for me, I think, after, almost 10 months of doing this. So the chats are more active, which are awesome. So feel free to chime in on interviews, questions, all those kind of things, your opinions. We love that kind of stuff as well. So do that both on YouTube and on X as well. We also on all the podcasting platforms as well. So Spotify, Apple, Podbean, iHeart, wherever you get your podcasts, put it Off the Air with Matt Randazzo. Listen to the show each and every day as well. And also always like to welcome our viewers from Central Iowa. We appreciate you guys. We get good feedback from you guys as well. So over a month, I think, of dealing with me, which is something. I appreciate you guys doing that as well. Yesterday's show, a lot of fun. We talked to Tyler Tashman from the Des Moines Register about the Iowa Hawkeyes. Great interview with him. Actually, slightly compared Zach Lutmer to Cooper DeJean, and I can kind of see it as well. He's got shades of Cooper DeJean. So a lot of interesting stuff from Tyler, one of the best in the business. Those guys at the Des Moines Register, him and Chad and everybody else, do a fantastic job. So check out that interview. We also talked with United Township's Nick Welch. We talked to Central DeWitt's Clay Waterbury. Central DeWitt 7-2 back in the postseason. They go to Wallert coming up this weekend. And then we had Marksy Monday with John Marks. So if you missed yesterday's show, go check it out. It was a bunch of fun, but don't do it right now. Don't go anywhere because we have a really good show to get to today. Mondays are usually Pat Anger. Wasn't available yesterday. I want to thank Pat, and I want to thank the Moline Rotary. Pat and myself went right after this show got done and spoke at the Moline Rotary. Great group of people, great questions, great conversation. Craig DeVries invited us to do that. We thank Craig, our golf expert here on the show. So we had a bunch of fun, but Pat not able to join us yesterday. He'll be here in a matter of moments to talk about a lot when it comes to Iowa football and the way they're playing, 3 straight victories, bye week before Oregon. A bunch of stuff to get to. Pat Anger coming up in just a little bit. Also later in hour number 1, excited to catch up with Brock Harding, former Moline State champion, former Hawkeye, transferred to TCU. Will be the point guard down at TCU this year with Jamie Dixon and company. I think it's a great situation for Brock. We'll talk about what it's like down there in Texas, that team as they get ready for the season. We'll ask him about, his former teammates and if he keeps track of the Hawkeyes that transferred out during the coaching change and went different places and a whole bunch more with Brock Harding. Always great to catch up with him. That's coming up later on here in hour number 1. In hour 2, we're going to turn our attention to some high school football. Mitch Stoermer from The View from the West will join us to kind of big picture look at the Illinois side of the river. Who got the best draw? Who got maybe not the greatest draw? What's the best first round game involving our area when it comes to that kind of stuff? All that, a bunch more with Mitch coming up in hour number 2 of the show. And then after that, we'll kind of focus on one team. We'll head to Geneseo. Their starting quarterback, Jackson McAvoy, fantastic game down in Quincy this past Friday. Over 200 yards rushing, 2 touchdowns rushing, also threw for 2 touchdowns. So he had a fantastic game. We'll talk to him about Geneseo's first round game against Rochelle, the same team that beat them week 1 of the season. One of only 2 losses this year for Geneseo. A fantastic year for Matt Furlong and company out there. So Jackson McAvoy will join us coming up in hour number 2 as well. Baseball. I don't know if anybody stayed up as long as I did last night, and I didn't even get to the end of the game. I got to like the 16th inning before I fell asleep. The Dodgers winning a walk-off in 18 innings to take a 2-1 lead in the World Series, beating the Blue Jays. Freddie Freeman with the walk-off home run in that game. A really interesting tidbit that I saw this morning. Will Klein came in and pitched for the Dodgers, pitched really, really well. He pitched 4 scoreless innings. He hadn't thrown more than 3 or more innings in a game since August 12th, 2021. And that's when he was right here with the Quad Cities River Bandits. So I thought that was kind of a cool tie. Will Klein, the last time he had pitched that long, and he pitched 4 scoreless innings last night for the Dodgers. Last time he did that was right here in the Quad Cities when he threw 3 innings with the Bandits. So the Dodgers take a 2-1 series lead. Monday Night Football, the Chiefs beat the Commanders 28-7. So everyone excited about how good Kansas City is. They're playing well, and they're now 5-3 on the season. The Commanders now 3-5. So after that special season last year in which they broke my heart by beating the Lions in the postseason, they now have an uphill battle, maybe just to make the playoffs at 3-5 on the season as well. So again, I want to thank the Moline Rotary for not just allowing me, but having Pat Anger come talk to him yesterday. So Pat talked to them yesterday. We both got a great time. And now, without further ado, he finally joins us like he's supposed to do early in the week. A day late, but we're still lucky and privileged to have Pat Anger joining us on Off the Air with Matt Randazzo. How are you, my friend? Getting a workout in?
No, this is the only quiet place in my house. So,
and it's sad.
I've got kids that are running around. They don't have school tomorrow, so it's madness in there. So yeah, sorry for being late. Nobody goes to school anymore. It's a weird deal. Nobody goes, and they can retake all their tests they do bad on, all their quizzes they do bad on, and they never have to go to school. It doesn't make any sense. Yeah, it's the weirdest deal.
My kids will bring home a bad paper, which is obvious because I'm their dad. And I'll be like, hey, buddy, this isn't too good. He goes, no, I'm just going to correct it and turn it back in. Yeah. What's the point? Like, you got to get right the first time.
What's going to happen when they fail in the real world? Yeah. How are these kids going to be able to handle it?
Yeah.
I don't know. Hey, we don't make the rules. You know, What do we know?
Well, on a brighter note, now that we just condemned the youth of America, the Iowa Hawkeyes are playing good football. How's that for a segue? I just joked with you before we started. Like, it's easier to be around and be like, talk Hawkeyes when they win. I know that's an obvious duh statement, but we did an event yesterday at the Rotary Club, and everybody's excited about Iowa football. That's a good thing, right?
Well, yeah, it's a great thing. You know, one of the things that's kind of interesting too is like Iowa, like we kind of like when people are counting us out. So then when people start like giving us credit stuff, it's kind of, hey, just stop talking about us. Just want to kind of sneak in there quietly. Nobody says anything, but no, it's great. It's a fun team to watch. We talk about that every week. They're together. They play hard. They're consistent. You know what you're going to get week in and week out. They're going to fight and they're going to battle. And what was great about it, just from start to finish, they completely dominated that game. And it was a Minnesota team that everybody was, talking up, and they had some good victories, and they play hard and they want to be physical, and we completely shut them down in every facet of the game.
Pat, I don't know if I've seen 20 minutes of football where you have a rushing touchdown, a field goal, a passing touchdown, a defensive touchdown, and a special teams touchdown. Have you seen or been a part of something like that in your lifetime? You played a lot of football.
Not that I remember. And I feel like if it happened, I'd remember it.
Yeah.
It's just everything went our way. The ball bounced our way. Lutmer's interception, it was interesting talking to him after the game. That was a coverage concept that they worked on Friday. They'd found something on film. They put that in on, hey, if they line in this is how, I think it was like, instead of him helping out carrying the seam, he helped out the linebacker because they run that wheel. And, to make that adjustment like that the day before a game, and Coach Ferentz talks, he goes, learned a long time ago that the hay's never in the barn. And for them to adjust like that late in the process, and for them to execute like that is super impressive. And then obviously anytime Caden Weegan gets the ball, good things happen. And it's just it was just exciting. It was a lot of fun.
We talked earlier this year, and the defense was good, but I didn't know if they had a difference maker. I don't know if I talked with you or Kakert or whatever, but we just didn't know if there was a stud or a star or a standout. It was a nameless defense, and it's amazing in a month. There's a whole bunch of names, and they're all really good. Like Aaron Graves is a guy, and like Zach Luckmer might be the next guy in that secondary, and Xavier Wampa's playing the best football of his career, and Cohen Entringer, and you can go on and on. This defense went from not taking the ball away and kind of just being good to being really good with a bunch of guys. Who's your favorite guy on defense? Good luck.
I will not pick a favorite. It's nice though when you go into a season and you've got really no like hype. And I know that obviously Iowa's defense always going to have hype, but you don't really have a lot of hype. Like you want that because you know you're going to have guys that are hungry and want to prove themselves, and you've also got no egos, which is huge. And they played well all year, and you know if they just kept playing hard, like good things are going to happen. The ball's going to bounce their way, and our secondary is playing as good as they've played in a long time, which has been great. Linebackers are flying around. D linemen are making plays. We're rotating a lot of guys inside on our D line, and Bryce Hawthorne, new guy, he's coming in, he's doing well. Aaron Graves just continuing to dominate. It's just every single guy plays a role, and that's that's kind of what's cool about the win as well too, is every person had a role in that win. Every person played a part, and that's what this team is. I mean, they're a team. They're a true team.
The pick six streak, that goes past your years. I mean, 18 years it encompasses when you were there. Did you get one?
No, I want to say, didn't it start with Amari Spivey?
So what year?
I feel like I read. Well, it would have been either 2008 or 2009. I feel like, right?
Well, it's 18 years, and this is 2025.
I can't do the math.
So yeah, it's like 08. 08.
I feel like it started with Amari Spivey, I want to say.
Okay.
And I want to say that might have been against Minnesota, I want to say too. Up in Minnesota, when we won 55-0. Let's not fact check that, but I feel like when we won 55-0, Amari Spivey had a pick six.
All right.
And that might have been what started it.
I feel like you guys had several pick sixes. Like it wasn't just one a year. I mean, Sash had his. The ricochet ball against Indiana was the first one that comes to mind. But
that was 2009. And then he had the one where he flipped it to Micah Hyde in 2010. I mean, gosh, dude's making plays, man. And Sash and Amari and Greenwood and all those guys, they always make plays.
Did you ever pick six?
No. I had I think 5 or 6 interceptions in my career. Never picked six. I was terrible at returning. I have no offensive skills whatsoever. I had an opportunity. I probably should have had a pick six against Penn State, but I tried to run a lineman over, and that didn't work out. If I just would have cut to my left, I would have scored. But yeah, no pick sixes for me. Greenway had pick sixes. He was an athlete.
Dude, he's a stud. He still is a stud. Pat Anger joining us on Off the Air with Matt Randazzo. Speaking of studs, I got to chat with Josie Jewell on Friday for the Hawkeye Tailgate show on Saturday. And I know you got to see him as well, but he brought up a great point. And he brings up, I said, what makes this Phil Parker-led defense so good? And he's like, you answered the question yourself by saying Phil Parker-led defense. I think caught or lost maybe in the mix of all this stuff is Phil Parker just does what he does. Why is it? And I know it's a question that's been asked a ton, but what makes him so special and makes it so that he can continue to fill in pieces and the defense continues to perform the way it does?
Well, I think first of all, I mean, he played the game at a really high level when he was at Michigan State. He was a 2-time All Big Ten, maybe 3-time All Big Ten safety. he was one of a kind. Just talking to Norm Parker, because Norm Parker was there when he was playing. Dude was an absolute machine. And then you look at who did he learn under? Norm Parker, right? One of the greatest to ever do it. Absolute genius. And then you take that knowledge and you take the mindset that he has going into it. No doubt that he's going to continue to do good year in and year out. He's adjusted some things due to the fact that offenses are a little bit different, obviously, than it was when I was there. We could be a little bit more basic. Now you've kind of got to bring that nickel in, which basically is cash. Cash is essentially nickel, basically. But he's adjusted. And the one thing too is the guys, we're doing a lot of different things, but they're also basically, pretty simple. The guys are doing their jobs. And if you've got 11 guys doing your job, each piece works off each other, and they're playing it really, really well.
Have you ever thought of what Norm would think of college football today? Like, what would he say about what's going on with college football?
I would absolutely love to hear it, because it would be hilarious, and it would be 100% spot on.
Yep. I was going to say there'd be a lot of truth to it. It'd be funny, but it'd be 100% truth as well. Before we move on and talk about what's next with Iowa, I got to ask you about Mark Randazzo. We talk about him every week. He's a winner. We know all that. But it's amazing, Pat, to watch after week 2 and week 1 and people complain and whine and the message boards and social media, and then be down in the corner of that field when he's getting interviewed by CBS and maybe a fourth of the student section still staying there waiting for him, chanting his name and cheering him like a rock star with the facial hair and everything as he goes through. That's what's beautiful about college football. It's amazing how things can change in 5 or 6 weeks. He's really, he's the leader of the football team, but he's the face of the program right now with the team when it comes to the fans and all that kind of stuff as well.
Yeah, he's done a good job coming in and just being a leader right away. The guy's a freaking winner. Obviously, he's the winningest college quarterback of all time, right? He's the winningest college quarterback of all time, and we have him. And it's no surprise when you watch him play and you watch him lead and you watch the confidence that he plays with. Nothing gets to him. Sort of like Rick Stanzik. Nothing got to Rick. You couldn't get nothing. Nothing's gonna ruin Rick. And that's the same thing about Mark, is he's just going to continue to compete. And he with the injury, obviously he kind of started a little bit late. A little bit later than everybody, and slowly kind of figuring it out. And coaches kind of figuring out who he is as a quarterback. And really, I think it was that Rutgers game that kind of changed it. And I think that was kind of a turning point for our team, because that was when our guys, I think they saw what Mark can do. And they said, hey, we got a guy that we can believe in, because it's kind of been a while since we've had a quarterback that we can really look at and say, hey, we got a shot with him. We're never out of the fight. And it's huge, and it's great, and it's awesome to see, because he's a good guy. Obviously, we know him. We've talked to him. He's as good as it gets. I'm excited to see what happens in the future. I'm excited to see what happens this year. It's early, and we got a good bye week, good timing for a bye week, but we got a big game coming up, and I want these guys to get a big win. I really do. They deserve it. The coaching staff deserves it, and I'm looking forward to it.
I need to ask you about the big scandal in Iowa known as not being ranked in the AP Top 25. I know Iowa fans, and some of them can't get over it. I don't care personally. I don't think it's that big of a deal. Your thoughts on Iowa not being ranked? Should they be ranked, and does it matter to you?
No, it doesn't. To me, it's not a big deal. Here's the thing: we win the rest of the games, we'll be fine. And we got to beat, whether we're ranked or unranked or whatever, we got to beat Oregon. So it is what it is. I prefer to be the underdog. I prefer for people to count us out. That's where Iowa does best. Honestly, I'm surprised, strictly due to the fact, with like the ratings and all that stuff. I figured hey, they want to get ratings up. They're going to rank Iowa really high so they can promote that we got these ranked teams playing against each other, which that was the only really thing that I was surprised of. But hey, we're gonna have to beat Oregon. We beat Oregon. We're ranked. We continue to roll. We're going to be ranked, and we've got to take care of business, and it'll all fall in place.
Pat, if you were playing on this Iowa football team right now, would you want a bye week?
And you're saying that just because they're playing really well.
Yeah.
I don't know. It seems like, we've got some nicks and bruises, and had Bo Stevens got a little banged up, and it seems like they handled last bye week really well. So hopefully this one's another great bye week. It does give you a little bit of extra time, obviously, to prepare for a great opponent. And I don't know. It doesn't matter to me if I'm playing on this Iowa team. Wherever they tell me to do, whoever they tell me to play, whenever they tell me to play, I'm down.
That's what we say in radio to you. We're like, Pat, we need you. You're there. You're ready to be the radio guy and deliver each and every Saturday. Before I let you go, the last bye week you talked about was right after Indiana, and there was, and we kind of talked about it a little bit earlier yesterday at the Rotary Club. There's those people. It's just time. Like Kirk, it's time for Kirk. I love him, but it's time. And there were the detractors. They lost to Iowa State. What's wrong with Iowa football? They lost to Indiana. Since that Indiana game, they go on a bye week, and all they've done is gone 3-0, beat Wisconsin, Penn State, Minnesota. The two rivalry games for trophies, they win by a combined score of 78-3. Coaching matters, doesn't it? Like culture and coaching matters, and it goes back to Kirk Ferentz, in my opinion. What do you think?
Oh, 100% starts at the top, and you said the right word. It's culture. Coach Ferentz has the right culture. He has the right guys. They recruit. Iowa football isn't for everybody. It's absolutely not for everybody. There's certain amount of guys that can make it there, and there's a certain amount of guys that can succeed there, and they have those guys in there, and those guys are going to improve, and they're going to get better throughout the year. And coaches are going to continue to find different ways to put the best guys on the field and put the guys in the right positions. And people have no idea how lucky we are to have Coach. Absolutely no idea. We're never out of the fight. We're always in a battle. I tell you what, nobody wants to play us. Nobody wants to play us. So hey, good luck.
No, I completely agree. And you look at it too, Tim Lester's done a great job with that offense as well. They're playing really at a high level. Can I ask you if I get fired from someplace, anyway. Yeah, it doesn't matter. If I get fired from someplace, what would it be like getting, which I never would be, first and foremost. I've never been fired a day in my life. But if I would be, what about $54 million to go away? Like some of these coaches, it's an amazing thing right now in college football.
Yeah, it's different, man. It's wild, and I don't know when it started. I don't know who was the first one that. I guess all these guaranteed contracts. I don't know when that became a thing. Obviously, and you had talked about it yesterday. Is NIL and transfer portal, all that stuff plays a huge difference, and all that stuff. It's more of a hey, you got to win now, and we're not gonna give you time to develop the program you want. And what it should do is, it says a lot about Coach Ferentz and the University of Iowa and the trust in the process, the trust in the development, getting a good culture, and the wins take care of themselves there. Yeah, I kind of wish that I would have gotten into coaching and just done a good job for 2 years and got a huge contract and then just kind of hung out and slept in my truck or whatever and didn't really do it and not do anything, get a huge buyout. I feel like that's kind of winning the Powerball right there. I don't know. It's a weird deal. You think about it, like the Penn State thing. I can't remember who was talking about it, but you've got the 50-some million buyout. You've got the coordinators and the rest of the coaches you got to pay, and then you've got to pay for a new coach. So it's it's $100 million decision. Like where's all this money at? And how do we get some?
I know we need some of it at Iowa. Not that we need to get rid of coaches by any stretch of the imagination. What's the best costume you've ever been for Halloween?
I don't know. I'd say with this year, I don't dress up. I don't even remember dressing up. And last time I dressed up would have been like middle school. I don't know. I'm going to dress, my daughter always calls me Mr. Clean. So I'm going to dress up like Mr. Clean.
Are you?
I'm going to surprise her. I got a Mr. Clean costume. The problem is I got the white pants, but they're see-through, so I'm going to have to try to figure that out.
Yeah.
It's not going to be good.
Either that or you're going to have to – yeah, that's probably not a good – hopefully it's a warm night, I guess, if that helps out.
I don't know. Cold. Yeah, I think I'm definitely going to have to wear something underneath, obviously.
Yeah, I'm just saying. Like Think Seinfeld, think Great Epic. Do you ever watch
I-
out?
I-
Okay, gotcha.
No, I didn't watch Seinfeld. I didn't have cable. I'm not rich like you.
It was on NBC. Originally, you're just young. Best Halloween candy.
I don't know. I'll tell you what, the best candy of all time.
Nerd
And
ropes.
It's Nerds gummy clusters.
Yeah, or Nerd Ropes, same thing. Yeah, they're amazing.
The nerd ropes are great, but the gummy clusters, it's the greatest candy ever.
What about any
By far.
chocolate? I agree with that. I will agree with that wholeheartedly. What about chocolate? Like Reese's Pieces?
I'll eat them. I'm not a big. I don't know. I mean, I like candy.
What candy do
I'm a
you
big
not
Reese's
like?
guy.
I don't like Almond Joy or Mounds. What candy do you not like?
I don't know, candy corn maybe, or like Peeps.
Peeps are disgusting. Candy corn's not bad.
It's not great, so I don't know. Why waste the time on it? Why waste the calories?
Are we worried about calories right now, Pat? Like,
Yeah,
let's be honest.
look at me. I'm sitting in my gym right now. Obviously, I'm just terrified about calories.
Yeah, I can tell. Well, enjoy your bye week. You get a Halloween, so you get to go trick or treat with the kids and all that kind of stuff. All of yours, how many still trick or treat? All of them?
Did you say if all the kids are mine? I hope so.
No, but do they all trick or treat? None of them are yours, but we'll talk about that later.
Yeah, they'd be better athletes if they were. I don't. Kale's not. I doubt.
Yeah.
Kale will. He's in 8th grade. Emmett will probably go out with his friends, and
Has to.
I'll hopefully be able to take Avery out. I like taking her out trick or
That'll be
treat,
good.
and then she likes handing out candy. So hopefully we can get her some candy, and then hang out and hand some candy out.
I love it. Enjoy the bye week, my friend. We'll catch up again real soon.
Love you, buddy. Have fun.
Thanks, pal. That is Pat Angerer with her normal visit here on Off the Air with Matt Randazzo on a Tuesday instead of the Mondays that we're used to. But a bye week for Iowa. And those are fun. When you win 3 straight, yeah, you probably want to play right away and kind of continue the good flow. But you get to take 2 weeks. And as a fan, if you're an Iowa fan out there, all you have to do is sit back and you can celebrate victories and you don't have to worry about losing. It's a stress-free weekend and one of those things. And get ready for Oregon. No game time set yet. But it'll be a big one. Iowa and Oregon coming up November 8th. And then, heck, they go out west, and they got a good one with USC as well. So a lot to get to when it comes to the Iowa Hawkeyes over the next couple of weeks and maybe month as well. We got more to get to on today's show. We'll be right back on Off the Air on a Tuesday right here in the Quad Cities. All right, be honest. Are you craving Hungry Hobo again? You know, that fresh sliced meat piled high on those amazing sandwiches, hot off the grill chicken and steak with all those delicious toppings, the biggest and best selection of baked potatoes, or simply some waffle fries dipped in cheese. Well, now that Quad City favorite is even easier to get. Download the Hungry Hobo app today. Order ahead, skip the line, and earn rewards all at the same time. There's Double Points Monday and exclusive specials as well. With 12 locations in the Quad City area, it's Hungry Hobo. Now even easier to find, but still hard to resist.
Rafferty Funeral Home, dedicated to serving families in the Quad Cities since 2007.
Hi, welcome. Here, come on in.
An experienced staff plans each service to reflect the unique life and legacy of your loved one. Rafferty Funeral Home is proud to serve our community with dignity, respect, and compassion, helping you to celebrate your traditions and lasting memories no matter your faith, culture, or budget. Rafferty Funeral Home in Moline. Call today to discuss prearrangements.
When it comes to quality, convenient pizza, Godfather's Pizza in Silvis has you covered. Featuring a beautiful dine-in area, delivery, and a carry-out window. Godfather's Pizza is that pizza you grew up with, not a convenience store. You see, at Godfather's Pizza, the dough is made fresh daily. That mozzarella cheese is shredded fresh and never frozen. And those toppings are abundantly piled high, each and every time. Locally owned and operated since 2010, Godfathers is a huge supporter of local athletes right here in the Quad Cities. So come on by and check them out at 1211 Avenue of the Cities in Silvis. Order online at godfathers.com and reunite with that same delicious pizza you grew up with.
Hey, Quad City.
Welcome back to Off the Air with Matt Randazzo here on a Tuesday in the Quad Cities. Tuesday, October 28th. We're off and rolling. Always fun to chat with Pat Anger and a lot to talk to him about when it comes to Iowa football and I guess, Halloween in general. And I'd love for people to weigh in on that. I have very specific likes when it comes to candy. There's not too many things I don't like. I am a candy corn person. I think it's good this time of year. If you try to get me candy corn in like July or May, I probably want no part of it. But for some reason, a wax candy corn or whatever it is tastes good this time of year. Love what Pat said about the nerd clusters, nerd ropes in general. Really, really good. Peanut butter M&Ms are fantastic as well. So hop on the chat or wherever and let me know what your favorite Halloween candy is. We might as well talk about all that good stuff because Halloween is Friday as well. So a lot more to get to on today's show as well. It's basketball season, and for so long I was lucky enough to cover Brock Harding here in the Quad Cities when he was with Moline, obviously winning state championships for 2 years at the University of Iowa. And I told Brock when he left Iowa and went to TCU, I'm going to keep covering you. And that's exactly the case. Brock down at TCU, getting ready for his junior year and getting ready to make a huge impact. Played great when it came to some exhibition games, played really well against Texas as well. So not just bad competition by any stretch of imagination. Brock playing really, really good, and I am expecting good things. So without further ado, we'll get to a familiar face right here in the Quad Cities. So joining us now, a familiar face around the state of Iowa, especially here in the Quad Cities, former Moline State champion, Brock Harding, joining me from the sunny state of Texas. How is everything down in the Lone Star State?
I'd say the weather's probably a lot better than it is back home. Hear my mom complain quite a bit, and so it's nice to walk outside and start sweating when you get outside. So that's something that you can't really complain about and something that's really enjoyable about being down here.
Yeah, your mom might complain a lot, but that's just because she's married to your dad. There's a big reason why she's complaining. It has nothing to do with the weather. She's got to put up with your old man all the time.
You would think that'd make everything else seem blissful, but no, we hear complaints about other stuff too.
I love it. I love it. Obviously down at TCU, what's the transition been like? What's the move been like? And how is life basketball wise at TCU?
I mean, it's been everything kind of they talked about to me in the portal. Just talked about having a lot of freedom, being able to kind of play my game here. We're going to have guys around me that really know how to score the ball, play with each other, not really a very selfish team. And I just think that's just kind of been the story of our team so far throughout the summer, throughout the fall, and then finishing up with the preseason, heading to our first game next Monday. I just think we're in a really good spot right now. I think the coaching staff we have is one of the best in the country, and I can truly believe that. I feel like we have guys that have been head coaches. We have guys that have coached everywhere, coached in the SEC, Big Ten, Pac-12, I mean, everywhere. And then we got some young guys that are going to be head coaches when it's all said and done. So I think that's kind of everything you want as a point guard, kind of seeing the other sides of the game, kind of being able to pick up on the little things just when you have that to be able to bounce ideas off with. It's kind of really everything you want as a point guard.
You mentioned the portal, Brock, and it was speed dating. It was quick. It was fast. It was you didn't know. You were told things, but you never knew maybe what to expect. Has it come to fruition where you're sold something and you've seen it come to fruition? That's important, and I think maybe that's the case at TCU.
For sure. I mean, they were kind of straight up with me. They said they hadn't had a great year last year, kind of realized the things they needed. They really wanted a true point guard, a guy that was going to play a lot of minutes, kind of shoulder a lot of the load with the ball, kind of make things happen, play an up-tempo offense, and that's kind of what I was looking for in the portal. So it sounded like it was all going to be great, but obviously when you don't have much time to kind of research, you got to kind of do everything kind of quick. You're kind of taking a leap of faith, just really hoping that everything they said is really true, and I really am more than it's everything and more than what they told me in the portal. Everything they said was going to happen is kind of came true here. All the guys that they said were going to be here are here, and it's just kind of everything that they hyped it up to be, and it's just been a great first couple of months being here.
You mentioned needing a point guard that runs the show, has the ball in their hands. It's what I've always seen from you when it comes to you've always had the basketball in your hands, and usually good things happen. What's it been like down there, and to be able to know that basketball is going to be in your hands and you're going to, run the offense, if you will. What's that's been like, because every point guard wants that, if that makes sense.
For sure. I mean, I feel like it's just kind of I play my best when I kind of know I have the freedom to make mistakes early, maybe make mistakes in practice, and just kind of see where things are going to open up, see how to play with certain guys. And I think just kind of having that freedom, knowing that I don't just have to look over my shoulder thinking, coach is going to be mad with this decision or things like that. They just coach hit on that early. Coach Dixon said, like, I want a version of myself out there on the court. I don't want somebody that's over at the bench talking to me every single time out. Like, we get a play call. If we don't have a play call, we're just running with whatever you got, and whatever happens, happens. We got trust in you. You've earned that trust in the months that we've been here. In our first couple preseason games, I've just kind of felt that, felt that calmness being on the court, just being able to kind of play my game, kind of do the little things I do, maybe talk a little bit here and there to the other team, just kind of stuff that makes basketball fun to me, and just kind of finding that love for the game again. Just all been really great about being down here.
Do you talk a little bit? No, I can't imagine.
Sometimes.
Depends
on the day.
Depends
on the day.
Brock Harding, guard down at TCU, former Maroon, joining us right now and off the air with Matt Randazzo. You look at having the ball in your hand, and it looks like from the last exhibition game against Texas, 13 points, 11 assists. And that's the one thing that I think everyone knows about you, but I've always loved is the assist factor and how you get everyone involved. Kind of talk about that, because you're playing with some new players, and there's no better way to endear yourself to them than by sharing the basketball. What's that been like? And obviously a really good outing against Texas in the exhibition.
For sure. I mean, I feel like guys kind of know, just playing with me early on in the season or early on in practice and throughout the summer, they kind of know, like, that's kind of who I am. I'm going to make sure we get the best shot every time. If that's me shooting it, they trust me to shoot it. If that's getting the open guy the ball, the guy who's hot the ball, they know that I'm just going to do whatever it takes to win. And I just having that trust from the guys and from coach. I mean, coach has kind of hit on it a couple of times. Like, there's no need to complain about the ball. Our guy's gonna get you the ball. We got somebody that's going to play the true point guard role. And I think after the game, he said something to the guy, we got guys complaining about the ball. Our point guard had 13 assists, so I don't really think we need to be doing that too much. I think we're going to get the ball when we need to get the ball. We're going to get the shots that we want to get. So just kind of having that trust from the guys just makes you feel comfortable out there playing with them. And then the trust from the coaching staff just makes you comfortable out there to kind of do whatever you need to do to make sure you can engineer the win.
It seems like I don't want to say expectations are low, but when you look at the experts, Brock, us media, we're always the experts. They don't have TCU up high in the Big 12. And I know you've had a chip on your shoulder since I've met you in a positive way. Is this team kind of like you, where maybe they hear the critics and that's okay, and they'll take that chip and run with it?
For sure. I mean, you look at me, you kind of know that's who I am. That's kind of how I play. But just the team that we have some guys that were really highly ranked out of high school, kind of had a lot of the big offers. But we also got some guys that were kind of under the radar, made their names at another Power 5 school, and then came here to kind of try to prove something, win a lot of games, and make it to the tournament. And I think we got a really good mixture of that. We got guys that came here for the right reasons, guys that stayed here for the right reasons. They want to win basketball games, be on the best team that they possibly can be. And I just think, knowing that we don't really need to worry about what other people are saying. We know the team that we have. I mean, if you look at the production from some of the guys that transferred in this year, we got a lot of production coming in. They lost a lot of production from their team last year, but the guys that came back were young, did a lot as a freshman, and really take that next step forward this year. I just think it's a great mixture of what we need and a lot of the hungriness that we need, guys that really are looking to prove something this year, and I think that's what you want when you're kind of underrated coming into the season. And I think that's what makes this team so exciting and just everything about TCU exciting.
Brock, what's crazy is that you're a junior. It doesn't seem right. It doesn't seem possible. And do you feel that? Do you know that like this college basketball journey is halfway over? And you mentioned guys wanted to make the most of the opportunities. Do you feel that with yourself when it comes to just having 2 more years left of college basketball?
For sure. I think it kind of really hit me after probably 3 weeks summer. I was a new guy here. It was a little bit different. Coach has been telling me like there's no really time for a new guy. Like we need you to be a leader coming in. But like I had been told that like my whole life, so it was just kind of whatever. And then I was looking around and I was talking to Jaden Pierre, our transfer from Providence. I was like, dang, we're like the oldest guys on the team. Like guys are looking to us because we've played in the big games, we've played in the big conferences, like asking us about certain things, how things go during the season. It's just kind of a weird feeling knowing that it was 3 years ago now, and I was 2 years ago now that I was coming in as a freshman, being that young guy, super hungry to come in, and now I'm a junior in college, one of the older guys, kind of mentoring our youngest freshman, Bug Edwards, just kind of having him come to me, ask me about game days, different stuff like that. It's just kind of a weird feeling, but also a good feeling, just kind of knowing all the experiences I've had. I've been able to kind of use those, talk to the guys that haven't played in the Big Ten, they're playing in the Big 12. It's just different types of conferences, different types of basketball. So I just think being able to be an older guy coming in, kind of bounce what I've seen from other leagues around the country and kind of using that and kind of helping our guys work through things here, work through things throughout the season. I just think that kind of helps me. But, yeah, definitely a weird feeling.
Yeah, you're an old man, which makes me a really old man. Brock Harding joining us right now and off the air with Matt Randazzo. I talked to you about on the court at TCU. Tell me about that community and being a Texan. I was waiting for you to get on here and be like, how y'all doing and all that kind of stuff. None of that yet, but what has that been transition like to go down to Texas and that community, and what's it like down there?
So I'd say – people that go to TCU isn't fully like tech because it's a private school, expensive to go here, no in-state tuition. So we got people from all over the country, a lot of Chicago people, a lot of California people, New Jersey, just people kind of from everywhere, just from different parts of the country. So the school itself, like the population of the school isn't as Southern as people might think. But definitely the alumni, talking to people around campus, the older people around here, like you can definitely feel the Southern hospitality. Everybody's super nice. Everybody wants to know how you're doing. Everybody wants to know if you need help with anything, are really eager to help you in any way possible. So that part's definitely been – people talk about it all the time, but you don't really understand it and feel it until you actually get down here and experience it for yourself.
Is there anything about Texas that what's your favorite part? Is there any food, anything that you're like, this is what I love about Texas that maybe I can't get back in the Midwest?
I mean, obviously the weather, everybody's going to say the weather. Just, I mean, you're not in the freezing cold. I think it's going to be a lot even more noticeable when it's December and it's 60 degrees here and not 20 degrees. Like we didn't get a team issued coat. Like we don't have any coats. That's not even a thing here. Like they give you a little jacket if you go play in the Midwest. But I just think really just the culture down here. Like you can kind of just the sayings, just everything they say about Texas. Like it's not fully Southern like they say. Like it's not like the dirty South, but like just the culture. Everybody's super nice. Just the people around here really make it enjoyable to be down here and really just kind of make it feel like you're at home when you're here.
Absolutely. Brock Harding joining us right now and off the air with Matt Randazzo. Obviously, you're not the only former Hawkeye that left Iowa after the coaching change. What has that been like? Have you stayed in touch with, your former teammates, where they're at? Obviously, Owen's in Creighton right now, playing at Creighton. What has that been like, kind of staying together? Because I do know that while y'all went different places for the most part, and there I said y'all. So just talking to you, I'm saying y'all. But I know why you guys went different places. You guys went through a journey together, and I know the closeness of that team last year, especially towards the end, was us against the world. So do you still stay in touch with those guys and where they're at and their journeys as well?
For sure. I think that's one of the best parts about our team last year, and kind of everything happening the way it happens really brought us closer together as a team. I mean, I think I really noticed it last week. I was seeing these posts on my different teammates' Instagram stories about they had this exhibition game that was on ESPN Plus, and I was like setting a timer on my phone, like making sure I was ready to go watch the game. I watched Sadu play. I think he might have been the first game that was on. Him and Utah played Nevada, I think, last weekend. And then Price played BYU, so I got to watch a Big 12 team that we're going to play and then watch Price play. And then obviously I'm not a fan of the way Creighton streams their exhibition games. I had to ask Owen's parents for a login one day. The next day they were trying to make me pay $6 to watch it. But just kind of staying in touch with everybody playing. And then Peyton he saw some stuff about some of our games and just had been texting me about how things are going. And he's obviously playing with the Thunder, hurt right now, but Thunder and then the OKC Blue. So just kind of staying in touch with everybody that we had. I think that's really a test to the culture that we had on that team. Like, no matter what was happening, the guys we were still teammates. We were still close together. Like, the stuff that we built there doesn't just go away because we're in new places. Obviously, we have new friends. Like, I was talking to Josh today about needing to shoot the ball more, just different things like that. Just kind of making sure that everybody's having the best time where they're at and making sure everybody's still good. Everybody's kind of getting the most out of their transfer. I think that's what makes our group so special, that bond that we built, like, it's never just going to go away. It's kind of something that we're going to hold on to forever.
All I got out of that entire thing is that Owen Freeman's not worth $6 of your money to watch. Is that true?
No.
It
was his first game back. I definitely could have watched it, but I had my mom watch it, and she's basically like, I saw it live because I'll get every single update and every single call. Every time something happens, every time something good happens. He fell early. She got really worried, thought something happened again, and then everything was good. So, yeah, if my mom's watching it, it's basically like I'm watching it too. So that part's okay.
I love your guys' dynamic and you kind of being the bully. Is that a safe way to say it when it came into him? Is it weird not having that knucklehead around? Because it wasn't just, the Moline senior year and then 2 years at Iowa, but you guys have been playing together AAU wise for a long time. Is it weird not having that knucklehead around in one way, shape, or form?
I mean, it's kind of like when your little brother finally leaves the nest. I mean, it's just kind of weird feeling for sure. But on a serious note, we played together for, I think it was 6 years in a row. Played AAU together, then played high school ball together, and then played 2 years at Iowa together. Went through so many practices together, off days together, just kind of did everything together for that long of time. I mean, it was definitely weird at the start, still weird now, like just kind of that comfort factor on the court. You always know one of the people that you're going to play with. So I think it's definitely a weird feeling. I think it's good for the both of us, kind of experience something new, but I mean, it's definitely something I'm going to miss, playing with one of the best big men in the country and one of my best friends that I have and I'm going to have to the day I die. I mean, just kind of something weird, but hopefully we'll get to play again sometime in the future. But I mean, it's definitely a weird feeling knowing that we're not playing together right now.
A few more for Brock Harding before I let you go back to studying, I'm sure, something like that.
Yeah.
Do you set goals for yourself this year? Do you say, like, I want to average this, or I want to win that, or I want to – do you do those kind of things? You don't have to share them with me. But if you do, you can. But do you put those on yourself?
People definitely say there's good in doing that, like setting personal goals for yourself. And, I mean, I 100% agree. I don't think that they're selfish either. But I don't really – especially since I got to college, I feel like it's a lot more that goes into it than just reaching your personal goals. I feel like even if you have that in the back of your mind, like even if you're not a selfish person, like you're kind of, like I told myself I was going to do this every single night. Like I have to do this now, but it might be a tie game with 2 minutes left to go in the game. And now you're thinking about a goal that you set earlier in the year. I think the goals that I kind of set, especially being a point guard, not really having solidified role as a scorer or facilitator, just having the ball in my hands. I think my main goal is just to win basketball games. And if I win basketball games, I feel like winning basketball games, if you have the ball in your hands, a win you played a big part in the win. But if you lose, it's also 100% on you. So I just think the big thing that I've kind of set for myself, talked to the guys about, is just winning basketball games. I mean, we've gotten picked low in the Big 12, not supposed to kind of a fringe tournament team. I mean, I just think making sure we take care of business early in the season. We got some really big games early. I just think wins is really the biggest thing that I kind of set my mind to. And then making the NCAA tournament, obviously that's way down the road. There's a lot of stuff that goes into that, a lot of games that we have to play still. Haven't even played our first one, but I haven't played in the NCAA tournament. And if you're a point guard and haven't played in the Big Ten tournament or NCAA tournament, that kind of says something about you as a player. So I think that's one of the biggest things that has been on my mind, been on our team's mind. Iowa didn't make it to the NCAA tournament last year. TCU didn't make it after making it the 5 years previous. So I just think that's kind of something that us, the coaching staff, me, myself, one of the biggest things is making sure we make it to March and win a lot of games in March.
Fran McCaffrey and Jamie Dixon, two really good college basketball coaches, two different basketball coaches, I'm sure. And respectfully speaking, is there a big difference, or what are some of the differences maybe between your old head coach, who I know you love, and your new head coach, who you have a lot of respect for as well?
I'd say they're kind of from around the same era. Just kind of some of the things that they say, some of the terms that they use, like you can kind of tell that they grew up coaching in the same era, playing in the same era. Obviously, Coach McCaffrey was a really good player. Coach Dixon was a really good player, just got inducted to the Hall of Fame in the Southwest Conference right before we started fall practice. So, I mean, obviously being players, that has a lot of similarities as well. I'd say the biggest difference is just kind of – I'd say Coach Dixon's a lot more like just – Coach McCaffrey would kind of tell you how it is, but Coach Dixon really like – he's not going to hold back. If he's going to say something to you, if someone says something back, he's going to come right back at you and say something right back. So just kind of just not really caring what he says, not really caring who he's saying it to. Like, everybody's going to get coached no matter who you are. If you're on his team, you came here because you know he's going to coach you and try to – he wants to win back. I'm pretty sure he doesn't have another hobby outside of basketball. I think basketball is what he does from the time he wakes up, and if he goes to sleep, the time he goes to sleep, he's watching film, evaluating what's happening, looking at the metrics, what our team is lacking, what the country says we're lacking, what we need to focus on. Like, he just is basketball 24/7, and I think that's kind of how I am. That's kind of something that I've always been. And so I think having that in my head coach, being able to kind of talk to him about basketball, talk to him about what he sees, and kind of him having that trust factor in me, asking me what I see, what I feel from the guys, how guys are feeling, just kind of having that one-on-one connection, I just feel like has been really good for me. And I mean, I've had that with Coach McCaffrey as well, but I think it's been even more so since I came here. Just kind of, they wanted me to come here, be the point guard, be the guy. And I just feel like I've kind of felt that since I've got here, just my relationship with Coach Dixon and my relationship with the rest of the coaches.
Brock, before I let you go, I know I'm going to give you a pass because you're down at TCU, you're busy, you're playing basketball, you're studying nonstop. You might not have gotten to watch the show every single day. So I'll give you a pass if you haven't watched your favorite show off the air.
I missed two, I think.
All right, well, you might have missed the one where your dad, that knucklehead, was on here with Todd Thompson, some of you know very well as well. And they made a bet, a wager on the football game. And now they're going to do it in basketball. They're going to do it in the spring as well. Your dad lost the bet. So he has to, the athletic director at United Township, has to wear Moline apparel and go and serve concessions at Wharton Fieldhouse. Is your dad a genius? Because that doesn't seem like it's the hardest thing in the world to do.
My dad, for 8 years consistently, and I can't speak for a fact. I don't know, but it's different now because he's the AD at UT. So this basketball season, he probably won't be wearing as much maroon stuff as he would be if me and my brother was still there and he wasn't the AD at UT. But I think I don't understand what Mr. Thompson's reasoning was with that, considering my dad owns a lot of Moline stuff, considering me and my brother both went there and played a lot there and did a lot for that school, and he did a lot for that school. My mom's done a lot for that school. We're a pretty big Maroon family other than him. He's the only one on the other side, sadly. But I don't think it's a very fair trade-off for Mr. Thompson. I like the idea of getting everybody into it, get everybody seeing the bet, but I don't see his reasoning for that. I'm going to have to talk to him about that.
All right. With that being said, now they're going to do a bet in basketball season. What should be on the line? Loser shaves their head, which isn't really much with those old guys.
Dad can't
Losers,
yeah.
How about like loser? I think losers should dress in the other person's apparel and have a sign on the Avenue of the Cities that says, my team lost to another. Like, give me a good bet for those two. As embarrassing as you can think of, please. Tattoo?
I was gonna say tattoo, but I feel like that might be a little. Moline UT basketball games are a pretty big deal, but I don't know if they're getting the other school tattooed on them. I wouldn't want Mr. Thompson to have to get a tattoo of that school on his body. That doesn't sound too.
So are you saying that your Maroons aren't going to win?
No. Oh wait, that's how that sounds. No.
Yeah.
But just even the thought of having to put orange and black on you.
Yeah, I hear you. I don't want Coach Taylor watching this thinking that you think poorly of his coaching. Although we both know anybody could have coached Brock Harding and Owen Freeman and everybody else on that team. Like, it wasn't Sean Taylor that did that. I could have been the head coach of that team.
Because any other coach, we probably would have maybe made it to the regional finals and then thought we were really good and then not took care of business, and we wouldn't have played Conklin-Upwell, who had 30 the other night in the NBA, wouldn't have had that set up. So, yeah, sadly we had to play for him and have to go through that whole season with him and end up winning the state championship with him as our coach. And I know he takes all the credit for it if you ask him, because he's that type of guy. He'll take all the credit for it, and yeah.
He's the best. Okay, well, you think on it, and next time we chat – because that's a little ways down the road, you come up with something good for me. Will you do that?
Sounds like a deal.
All right. So now that Scott, when he's watching this, your fate might be in your son Brock's hands. So be a little nicer when he calls and he needs money. Although I don't know if it's you calling dad needing money or maybe the other way around. I don't know. I'll just leave it at that.
I don't have a comment. Yep.
No comment. I love it.
No comment on that one.
All right, Brock. I always appreciate you. Be well. Do great things down in TCU. We're rooting for you. In fact, I'm coming down to see you and play a game. I got a buddy in Dallas, so I'm coming down. I'm assuming you can probably get me a ticket or two, correct?
If it wasn't you, I could, but
damn.
I'll send you a link to buy them.
All right. I love it. I'll do that. I appreciate you, my man. We'll talk to you soon.
Yep, thank you.
All right, that is Brock Harding, former Mr. Basketball, former Moline State champion, former Hawkeye, and now starting point guard at TCU. Can't wait to see what Brock does down with the Frogs this year. We got more to get to. You're watching Off the Air. We'll be right back.
Give me the keys. Learning to drive can be stressful for both the student and, yes, the parent as well. Relax. There's an easy way to avoid the stress. Skiles Driving School in East Moline has been helping new drivers hit the road with confidence for over 20 years. Whether you're a teen earning your first license or an adult looking for behind-the-wheel training, we've got you covered. Their certified instructors are patient, experienced, and use modern vehicles equipped for safety and comfort. From classroom instruction to real-world driving, we make learning safe, affordable, and even fun. Call 309-278-0098 or visit skylesdriving.com. Skiles Driving School. Get in, buckle up, drive your future forward.
Are you looking to take your next party, tailgate, or golf outing to the next level? You need Mobile Party Experience. MPX features 3 top-of-the-line party trailers equipped with all the amenities you need to party like a rock star. Smart TVs, Yeti coolers, JBL sound systems, grills, bathrooms, and much more. Mobile Party Experience is an experience like no other. Check out my-mpx.com or call 563-514-1470 and book your Mobile Party Experience today. Welcome back to Off the Air with Matt Randazzo here on a Tuesday in the Quad Cities. It's a interesting week. It's a fun week. There's so many schools around the state of Illinois trying to figure out who their first round opponent is, who they're going to play, and then the road to state and what it may look like. So there's a bunch of anticipation and optimism all over the area. It's an awesome time. And so to kind of break down some of what the Illinois side looks like, I figured I'm a Mitch guy. It's time to go to Mitch from View from the West and kind of break things down. And I appreciate you doing this on a Tuesday. I'm starting to call you on Thursdays, on Tuesdays. It's soon going to be Off the Air with Daz and Mitch. I'm just saying.
I'm fully prepared to take over your show if you ever need a day off. I have nothing but free time right now. It'd be a lot of Notre Dame football talk if that's what your listeners are into. So I'm on standby. I'm ready to go.
I love it. It was fun Friday into Saturday, finding out the pairings and all those kind of things. Was there a headline that came from you or that you saw when Saturday night was done? Everything was, hay was in the barn. Here's the brackets. Was there a headline that you saw, or what'd you take out of, selection Saturday, if you will?
Well, we're thankful for the power company in Bloomington for getting the internet back and running at the IHSA offices, right? Because that got a little squirrely. But no, they were able to get that back up and running. Brackets did get released on time as scheduled. But yeah, I'm sure they were freaking out for a couple hours. But no, just like you said, we have, by my count, including 8-man teams, we have 36 area teams playing. And so just to see where they're going to go, projections had been coming out late Friday night, early Saturday morning. We had kind of gotten an idea of where teams might fall. We got a glimpse of what rematches from the regular season we might be falling into, which no one enjoys all that much. And certainly we had a couple schools that we were waiting to see if they would fall into 2A, if maybe something would be pushed up into 3A. So no, we finally got some finality on that. And then once you finally got to see what these matchups are, it's really exciting.
You mentioned it because I was in Iowa City. It's probably 2:00 and I run into Sean Considine in the press box. And it was great because we're talking more high school football than we are Iowa football. We're at Kinnick Stadium. And there was that anticipation. And he was talking about what it may look like and all those kind of things. I think people just want to see it. Am I right? That they just want to see who it is and get to work. There's so many projections. Some are right, some are wrong. It's all about just finally knowing who that opponent is and getting to work, isn't it?
Yeah, it really is. And like I said, there were projections out there from either Kyle at NUIC Football, who does a great job and has, I think Greg said out of 8-man, 1A, 2A, and 3A, he only had like 3 matchups incorrect.
Wow.
So between him and Steve Susi, you got an idea of where you were going to go. Certainly we thought that we could be looking at a Sterling Geneseo rematch, and with those two teams playing as well as they are, with that would have not been great, but luckily we avoided that. But yeah, you just want to know. It starts the prep. Certainly in today's day and age with technology, these coaches can be reaching out to one another pretty instantaneously, exchanging film, and get the prep going.
And a little tease to that, it's Geneseo and Rochelle, another rematch from week 1, and Jackson McAvoy, their quarterback, will join us in the next segment here on Off Day with Matt Randazzo. So if you're a Geneseo fan, stick around. That's a fascinating round 1 matchup as well. Well, I want to look big picture. When you look at this draw, who got the best from our area? Who maybe got the best first round matchup, or an advantageous first round draw, if that makes any sense?
Yeah, there's a couple. I think if you look in the 1A bracket, I think Anawan Wethersfield really has a pretty clear path to the quarterfinal. They have a rematch with Stark County in round 1. That was a 48-7 win for the Titans in the first week. And then in the second round, they would potentially either play Chicago Crane, a CPL team, or most likely Deer Creek Mackinac. So I really think Anawan Wethersfield, we could be seeing Anawan Wethersfield and Lena Winslow getting into the quarterfinal. That would be good. In 2A, certainly Rock Ridge is the top seed, but I think they have a favorable matchup in the first round and a potential one in the second round too, so that they could get into the quarterfinals. One team that we talked about, that Greg and I talked about on our show, and that they talked about on the playoff preview, was Sterling Newman got a pretty favorable draw as the 7 seed in 2A. a team that we didn't know if they were going to fall into 1 or 2. And as week 9 concluded and Friday night rolled along and Saturday morning rolled along, it was pretty clear that they were going to be into 2. But they draw Ridgeview Lexington in round 1. I do believe that's a winnable game for Sterling Newman. They would get El Paso Gridley or Chicago Marshall in round 2. 2 teams I also think that Newman could beat, and they could see themselves getting into the 2A quarterfinals. So yeah, there are some teams that got favorable, at least on paper, favorable matchups in the first round. So, but that's why you play the game, right?
And then on the flip side of things, there's teams that probably thought they were going to get something and got something different. Again, this is just on paper. You can win and all those kind of things. And it's funny, yesterday Nick Welch was on and he was looking at some of the projections from Stussy, and he thought they were going to get maybe a Glenbard East or something like that, and they ended up getting St. Charles North, who's a really good football team. But either way you look at it, you're going to be getting a really good football team at that point anyways. Is there a team that maybe you look at the draw and said, that's going to be tough, or that's going to be tougher than what it might have been or what we thought?
You look still in the 1A bracket, and there you have 2 regular season rematches of the NUIC, and that's the last thing that an NUIC team wants to see is another NUIC team. Certainly look at Stockton, the top-ranked team in 1A, and they've got to play maybe the 10th-ranked team in 1A in Galena, but they have a 16 seed because they're 5-4. I expect Stockton to win that game. They won in the regular season, but Galena gave them their second toughest game of the year. So I can't imagine that Coach Downey was thrilled about seeing Galena being their first round draw. And same thing with Lena Winslow. They get Forreston. That's always a good matchup. They've met each other in the playoffs before. Certainly, I expect Stockton and Lena Winslow to win those 2 games as they did in the regular season. But again, this is especially the 1A bracket is maybe the biggest proponent of why we should get to state seeding.
Yes.
And that way we wouldn't see the 10th best team in the state being a 16 seed going up against the top ranked team in the first round.
Completely agree. Mitch Stoermer from not off the air, maybe off the air eventually. From
did I just get hired?
Right? From View from the West, joining us right now. If you could go watch a first round game, and you say this matchup is awesome, I want to see it. It's where I'm going to spend my money. Where's the View from the West private jet flying you to on Friday night or Saturday in the afternoon?
Well, the View from the West private jet is flying Greg to this game, and it would be one that I would go to too. I think it is the premier game in the 2A bracket. I think it's the premier game of our area teams. It might be the best opening round game in all of playoffs. I'm not quite sure, but you look in the 2A bracket, the 3-seed Farmington hosting the 14-seed EPC. Now, on paper, this is a 9-0 team against a 5-4 team. But as we've talked about on our show a lot, we are huge proponents of a 5-4 NUIC team being a formidable opponent against really anybody in the state. And I think certainly everyone, Kyle, anyone that kind of follows NUIC football would agree to that. On the flip side, you have an undefeated Farmington team, the kings of the LLC large, haven't lost more than, I think, they've lost 1 in-division conference game in the last 10 years. Like they are the crown jewel of the LLC. And there's this sentiment that the LLC maybe doesn't perform as well in the playoffs. Maybe the league isn't as tough. And so now we get to see who's right. You know what I mean? I've been super impressed with this Farmington team all year. I am high on them to make a legitimate run here. And it equally would not surprise me if EPC won, because EPC has a very, very good offense. Again, they play in a very tough league. And Coach Vallis, the first thing he said is he knew that they got the best team. I don't know how I want to word this, but they knew they got a tough draw. Yeah. So this should be a very dynamic game. I think we'll get some answers again. Is it the NUIC a 5-4 team? Can they actually go toe-to-toe with a 9-0 LLC team, or can the LLC show, no, our top dogs are pretty good?
Yeah, no, it's a fascinating matchup. With that being said, what's the upset of round 1? What's the maybe local team that can go on the road or do something that people might not expect and move on to round 2 of the postseason?
You know what? I wouldn't count out Sterling. a 12 seed going on the road to a 5 seed Coal City. Coal City is good. There's no question about that. But I have been really impressed with Sterling, and I think that defense can kind of slow down that Coal City attack. The offense will have to play well. Brady Berlin, their running back De La Cruz, all of those guys, Jack Satoff as the wide receiver, they'll have to be on point to get past a equally stingent Coal City defense. But I looked at that matchup like, yeah, I could see that happening. And really, I'm just trying to speak that into existence so we can get a Dixon Sterling round 2 game there in 4A.
Oh, that'd be fun. I don't want to get into everything, and I said we weren't. 5 teams from the Western Big Six got in. We talked to Nick Welch yesterday, so go check out that interview. We'll try to get Mike Morrissey on this show sometime this week as well. But when you look at it, Geneseo, and we're going to talk to the quarterback here in the next segment, and Rochelle, I just thought that was so fascinating because Geneseo's been so good. They've won 5 straight. They went down to Quincy, and I don't know if there was a more impressive or eye-opening performance on Friday night than Geneseo going on the road and doing that down in Quincy. We mentioned besides that first game that they lost, their only other loss was to Moline. And when you look what Moline's been doing to people, 28-7 isn't bad. Like, that's not awful. Did they get a bad draw? Is this a good revenge game? Your thoughts on that game before I let you go?
You look back at week 1 and it almost doesn't make sense anymore, right? Like, Rochelle dominated that game. I think it was 41-14. The next week, they kind of struggled with Chicago King, and then they lose to Lena Winslow in week 3. And at that point, that was when Geneseo started to kind of get rolling a little bit. And I think they're one of the hottest teams with the most momentum coming into play. So I do not expect the same result as week 1. I do think that Geneseo can win this game. And again, that's part of me trying to manifest that so we can get a Macomb Geneseo game in round 2. But no, I think this is a completely different Geneseo team than what we saw in Coach Furlong's week 1 here this season. You've got Jackson McAvoy coming on here in the next segment. So he's playing great. He had a phenomenal game in week 9 against Quincy. So no, I expect that to be almost a flip. Maybe not score wise, but no, I think Geneseo is playing much better than they were in week 1. And I expect them to get that win.
So I had Mitch on because I'm like, all right, I want to talk about round 1. You got me more excited about round 2 than maybe round 1 because there's some really cool, intriguing second round matchups. Pump the podcast. I know it's up right now, or it might be. I talked to Greg this morning. I think it is.
Yeah, I'm not real sure if it's up yet.
No, it's getting there. He's working on it. I know that. So by the time, I'm sure this is up and going. It's one of the biggest ones of the year because, like we said, this is the anticipation of all season. Everybody wants to know what's going on. So talk about this week's pod and what you and Greg do.
Yeah, so Greg and I recorded last night. I think it got to 2 hours and 15 minutes.
That's it.
Like I mentioned, we have 36 area teams playing, and with some of those being, some of them playing against one another. I think it was 29 or 30 games total. So we tried to break down all of them. We look more into the opponents that we don't see a lot too often. Like you just mentioned, St. Charles North, UT's opponent, we looked into them and try to break it down as best we can. So a lot to unpack, a lot to look forward to. We will still be going live with our instant react. We will not be on Friday night. We are going to go on Saturday night. I believe it'll be at 9:30. That'll have plenty of time for us to recap everything. There are a handful of area games on Friday night, and then certainly the bulk of Saturday. So we will still be going live with the instant reacts to break down everything round 1, 9:30 on Saturday.
No, I love it. Mitch, I appreciate you jumping on and being so busy during the day that you can spend some time with me. Next time, all Irish. I promise. We'll talk. Because I do think they're going to make the college football postseason, or playoffs, I should say. And I don't know if there's not for a value bet, I don't know if Notre Dame to win the national championship is crazy. And I hate saying that nicely to you.
It's one of those weird things that NIL has really opened the gates for everybody. I don't know that anyone outside of Ohio State is particularly great. And that's what makes college football more fun now, I think, the past couple of seasons. So, they got to take care of business. I'll understand this, the sentiment if they don't get in, being 10-2 and not really having any quality wins. But they can only control what they can control, and they'll start with Boston College this week. And if I'm a betting man, which I'm not, 28.5 point favorites, I think. Boston College is bad. Hammer that over.
Wow.
I think ND will cover.
I love it. How about an Iowa Notre Dame first-round football matchup?
I would love if they played more regularly. I don't know why they don't.
You don't want any part of us. No, I'm just kidding.
That's
totally
it.
kidding.
That's definitely it.
Yeah, that's definitely it. So, all right, Mitch, I appreciate you. Get back to your nap or whatever you have going on, and everybody check out the podcast.
Thanks, Dazo.
All right, thanks, buddy. That is Mitch Stoermer from View from the West. Guys, I tell you this all the time. If you're on YouTube and you're subscribed to this show and you're not subscribed to View from the West, then I don't know what you're doing with your life. Like, you got to get that done. It's outstanding stuff. Get there now. Check out the podcast. It's going to be up soon as well when it comes to round 1 of the high school football playoffs in Illinois. And they're going to take you the entire way, all the way through to the state championships and all that kind of stuff as well. So check out View from the West. It's outstanding, and it's only getting better and better. We got more to get to. As we mentioned, Jackson McAvoy from Geneseo. We'll talk a little Green Machine football right after this. You're watching Off the Air on a Tuesday right here in the Quad Cities.
Hello, Dan Pearson here of FCA. Our team is thrilled to support Off the Air with our good friend Matt Randazzo. We share the view of the power of sport when it comes to relationships, including the influence of the coach. FCA believes the coach is the most influential person in America. Matt celebrates local coaches and athletes. His content is informational, insightful, and inspirational. Our Fellowship of Christian Athlete team loves partnering with Off the Air with Matt Randazzo while we engage, equip, and empower coaches and athletes in our 23 counties. FCA, the heart and soul in sports.
View from the West, the podcast covering Illinois high school football.
It's going to be a hard-hitting game. It's going to be great football.
Weekly analysis and reaction from around the western side of the state of Illinois.
This is the game we had circled when the year started.
Follow along on YouTube and subscribe wherever you listen to podcasts.
It's big-time football out there tonight, and I know we can play big-time football.
View from the West. We got you covered.
Are you looking for the Quad City's best chips and salsa? There's only one dude to turn to.
Right on.
Snoop. Hand-cut chips, fried fresh with that crunch you've come to love. And the most addicting salsa with delicious fresh ingredients each and every time. Pick up your chips and salsa, queso, enchiladas, and much more at the Stern Center in Rock Island. To place your order, simply call the man himself. It's Snoop at 309-314-8197 and find out for yourself what the rest of the Quad Cities already loves. Welcome back to Off the Air with Matt Randazzo here on a Tuesday in the Quad Cities. As we've mentioned, it's a huge weekend for high school football. Round 1 of the playoffs taking center stage in the state of Illinois. So many local teams ready for action. 5 teams from the Western Big Six, all making the playoffs, including out in Geneseo, where the Maple Leafs make it to the postseason for the second straight season. Thanks in big part to the young man joining me right now, Jackson McAvoy, quarterback over at Geneseo, joins me. Jackson, thank you first and foremost for doing this. I appreciate it.
Oh, yeah. Good to have.
It's been a fantastic season. I want to talk to you about yourself in a second. But this football team coming into the postseason, 5 straight victories. What is going right with Geneseo football right now? What's working for the Maple Leafs as you guys ready for the postseason?
I think right now compared to the season, we're just playing a lot together, really, and we're just clicking as a team.
When you look at that too, it starts with running the football, and it's something you guys do well at Geneseo. Talk about that running game, and it's not just the backs yourself. You were over 200 yards against Quincy last Friday. What makes that running game what it is, and what makes it so successful?
I think it's just start line, of course. Got a lot of great guys up there, and we just have a lot of backs too. We don't have one just stud. We have 4 studs. So you take out one of us is the next one's just going to step up and keep running the ball.
When did it start to click for Geneseo? I know that you guys got off to a slow start against a team we'll talk about here in a second, but you guys have played really good football. When did you guys feel maybe comfortable that things were starting to go in the right direction out of Geneseo?
I think after that UT game, that was a really big stride for us.
You look at what you guys have been able to do. You get a familiar name coming to town on Friday night. Rochelle beat you guys to start the season, and it was kind of a measuring stick. You get another crack at them. How do you approach round one of the playoffs against a team that beats you to open the season?
First off, starts with practice, like game planning and all that stuff. Just everybody's locked in all the time and just get ready for Friday.
What is it about that team that you guys remember? And can you dwell too much on that game? How much do you look back and learn from it? How much is this one a new one? Kind of take me through the thought process as you get ready for a familiar foe.
Yeah, so looking back at that game, we didn't play our best. We just did not play as physical as we wanted, and that's something we can take away and like at game this Friday for sure. So, yeah.
No, you look at this team and this game, it's a little different. You went to their place in round one or in week one. Now you get them in round one. It's at Bob Reed Field. What's it like at school? What's it like at practice? How excited are you guys to get rocking and rolling? Because I know the Geneseo community has to be super excited to have postseason football, back in town, not just being played, but being played at your stadium at Bob Reed Field.
Oh yeah, we're super excited here. We're ready to go.
What makes this team special? What makes it click? I know you guys are good on the field, but give me some personality about this team off the field. What's it like? What makes you guys click as a team? I know you guys are super close.
So we are growing up together helps too. We all have played together for so long, and we're all good friends with each other. And having the smaller school really helps with that. So I really like that about Jen.
You got a coach and a head coach that you had a change in the middle of your career, and it's Matt Furlong. Obviously, Larry Johnson did amazing things at Geneseo. I know you guys feel more comfortable. And I was out there for the show, probably week 2, and you guys talked about how much more comfortable you were with Coach Furlong. What is it about that guy? What do you like about him as a head coach? What's made it work with Coach Furlong and Geneseo football?
Coach Johnson was a great coach, and I really enjoyed him. And Coach Furlong is also another great coach. And I think Coach Furlong is just really easy to approach and talk to about different things that, if you see something's wrong in practice or in the game, you can just go up and talk to him, and he'll just be reasonable about it and take into consideration what you're talking about.
Absolutely. I think he's got to the trust of the players. I think you guys have his trust as well. You mentioned that United Township game. There were several games, I think, in the Western Big Six and several schools that were all very comparable. And then you guys started playing better and better. And then you finished the season with a road trip at Quincy, and you do that to the Blue Devils. You talked about UT being kind of a changing point. When things get rolling, what makes it special? When do you guys start realizing that this is going in the right direction and you guys are clicking on all cylinders?
So we just – and after that UT game, it was a big step for us, and realizing that we can compete with these bigger schools and bigger teams. So yeah, it's a big stride, and it could hopefully help us in the playoffs.
You look at the postseason, Jackson, and it is a team that we're going to talk about. Everybody's going to talk about that rematch game. Do you use the word revenge? Is it a revenge type of game, or is it simply this is round one of the playoffs? That's motivation enough when it comes to what's on the line on Friday night.
A little bit of revenge to it, but I mean, of course, it's a playoff game, so it should just be like that hype of a game that you should just be ready for.
What do you guys have to do to be successful? I know it's early in the week and you're still game planning and all that, but what are the keys that you look at that you guys have to do in order to get a round one victory on Friday night?
I think we just need to match their physicality on offense, especially, and then on defense, just making tackles, making sure you get that extra step to complete the tackle, no lunging off and trying to dive for ankles or anything. and reading keys on defense too. That'll help a lot.
Absolutely. Jackson McAvoy from Geneseo joining us on Off the Air with Matt Randazzo. Your season, it's been special. Over 1,000 total yards, 16 touchdowns, doing it both through the air and then obviously with your legs. And college football is something you want to do. And obviously you're talented enough to play at that next level. What's this senior season been like for you? I know you look team wise and winning is the main goal, and I get all that, but what's it been like for you to continue to build and grow and become the player you become in the Western Big Six?
It's been a really amazing season. A lot of fun memories that have happened this year.
Confidence wise, where are you at? You feel and you look so comfortable, not just on the football field, but with this offense as well. How comfortable are you right now? And to that extent, how important is it for you to be that comfortable and confident, especially in this offense?
Yeah. So, I mean, second year in the offense, like knowing all our reads and all the different things. And yeah, it's good for the team to, like, I can, instead of focusing on my job really, well, I mean, I always got to focus on my job, but I can worry about like the other guys and help them comfortable in the huddle as well.
Last one for you. It's going to be Halloween night. I'm sure you've had some fun on Halloween night around Geneseo, but it has nothing to do with football. It's trick-or-treating and being a Halloween kid. Is it extra special to be playing on Halloween night? And I got to ask you, will you get any candy? I know you're too old to go trick-or-treating. I get all that, but a victory involves some candy for a treat, doesn't it?
Maybe, we'll see.
What's before I let you go, your favorite Halloween costume ever? What's your, looking back when you were younger, heck, even older, do you have a favorite Halloween costume?
Oh, that's a tough one. I think when I was little, I had this really dope costume that I rocked, so that was pretty cool.
All right. And then last one too. What is the favorite candy when it comes? I know you're not trick-or-treating these days, and if you are, shame on you. But I hated Tootsie Rolls. I wanted to get like the chocolate. I'm a Reese's Pieces kind of guy. What's the favorite candy when it comes to Halloween for you?
Not really the biggest candy guy, but I couldn't go wrong with some Sour Patch Kids. Those are pretty good.
All right. I love it. Well, Jackson, I appreciate your time. Best of luck this weekend. Stay healthy, kick butt, win another game, and get Geneseo to play another week after this. We wish you the best. I appreciate you, my friend.
Thank you.
All right. That is Jackson McAvoy, the quarterback at Geneseo High School, having a fantastic year individually, but then also the Maple Leafs go into the postseason, winners of 5 straight games, 7-2, and they get the rematch with Rochelle that beat them on week 1 of the season. We got more to get to. You're watching Off the Air on a Tuesday right here in the Quad Cities. We'll be right back. All right, be honest. Are you craving Hungry Hobo again? You know, that fresh sliced meat piled high on those amazing sandwiches, hot off the grill chicken and steak with all those delicious toppings, the biggest and best selection of baked potatoes, or simply some waffle fries dipped in cheese. Well, now that Quad City favorite is even easier to get. Download the Hungry Hobo app today. Order ahead, skip the line, and earn rewards all at the same time. There's Double Points Monday and exclusive specials as well. With 12 locations in the Quad City area, it's Hungry Hobo. Now even easier to find, but still hard to resist.
Rafferty Funeral Home, dedicated to serving families in the Quad Cities since 2007.
Hi, welcome. Here, come on in.
An experienced staff plans each service to reflect the unique life and legacy of your loved one. Rafferty Funeral Home is proud to serve our community with dignity, respect, and compassion, helping you to celebrate your traditions and lasting memories no matter your faith, culture, or budget. Rafferty Funeral Home in Moline. Call today to discuss prearrangements.
When it comes to quality, convenient pizza, Godfather's Pizza in Silvis has you covered. Featuring a beautiful dine-in area, delivery, and a carry-out window. Godfather's Pizza is that pizza you grew up with, not a convenience store. You see, at Godfather's Pizza, the dough is made fresh daily. That mozzarella cheese is shredded fresh and never frozen. And those toppings are abundantly piled high each and every time. Locally owned and operated since 2010, Godfather's is a huge supporter of local athletes right here in the Quad Cities. So come on by and check them out at 1211 Avenue of the Cities in Silvis. Order online at godfathers.com and reunite with that same delicious pizza you grew up with. Welcome back to Off the Air with Matt Randazzo here on a Tuesday in the Quad Cities, Tuesday, October 28th. Thank you guys for being with us here today. We have had a really good show today. A lot of fun. If you're just joining us, Pat Angerer led things off earlier today, talking Iowa football, talking a little Halloween candy, costumes, and a whole bunch more. So if you missed Pat, go check out Pat as well. We also had Brock Harding joining us down from Texas. Of course, Brock, former Moline State champion, 2 years at the University of Iowa. And then when Fran left, he transferred to TCU and is with Jamie Dixon down at TCU. And I'm expecting a big year from Brock. Always a little biased, but he's playing some really, really good basketball. And that's just not from what I've seen. It's also from a lot of other people who are telling me that I trust. So I'm expecting a good big year from Brock Harding down to TCU. It was great for Mitch from View from the West, Mitch Stoermer, to join us to talk a little Illinois high school football. It's a fantastic time of year. We have the brackets. Everybody is ready to rock and roll. So kind of got his thoughts on some best first round games and maybe bad draws, good draws, those kind of things. What game he would want to go see this weekend as well. So great of Mitch joining us and to join us. And then Geneseo's Jackson McAvoy, their quarterback. What an intriguing game on Friday night. You have Geneseo, who is winners of 5 straight, playing fantastic football, 7-2 in the season, and their reward is a home game against one of the teams that beat them early in the season pretty easily. I think Geneseo is a lot better since then. I mean, a lot better. I agree with Mitch. I can see the results being flipped. I don't know about the score, but I think Geneseo wins that football game. And boy, that would be fun to see Geneseo Macomb in round 2 of the high school football playoffs. So a lot of great stuff when it comes to the Illinois side of the river. Check out that with View from the West, and then also check out Jackson's interview as well. He did a fantastic job as well. Coming up on the show tomorrow, we have our Ness guest segment. We have a winner from this week. We can talk about how Ness and I are doing, and then we'll look ahead to what would it be now? Would it be week 9 of the Ness Guest Pick'em contest, which is absolutely crazy to think about. Time is flying by, but Ness and myself will have fun at Hungry Hobo later this afternoon. We'll record that. We'll have it for you tomorrow. We'll get you a winner and all those kind of things as well. So it's been a bunch of fun. Ness Guest is something that I grew up with. I took part in when I was younger. I helped Ness with when I was at WQAD, and I hated to see it go away. So to be able to bring it back has been a bunch of fun. The feedback has been awesome. So keep doing it. Keep getting into the contest every week. Winners win free food from Hungry Hobo, and thank you once again to Hungry Hobo for being a great sponsor when it comes to not just Off the Air with Matt Randazzo, but when it comes to the Nest Guest contest as well. Also tomorrow, we're hoping to have Alvaro Figueres, Iowa's new forward from Robert Morris. Iowa will tip off the college basketball season next Tuesday, a week from today. against Robert Morris, Alvaro's former school. So one of the guys that slipped through the cracks when we were there doing our preview show. So excited to have him on the show, most likely tomorrow. So keep an eye out for that. Ty Taylor just won an award being the greatest sportscaster of all time or something like that. We'll have him joining us either tomorrow or Thursday. We got Jake Brend coming up to talk about the Cyclones. So a lot more to get to throughout the week right here on Off the Air with Matt Randazzo. Super excited about all of it as well. And don't forget, we did some fun shows a couple weeks ago in Iowa City when it came to the Women's Basketball Media Day and the Men's Basketball Media Day. Go check those shows out on the YouTube channel as well. Get yourself refamiliarized with basketball season as it's coming very, very soon. As I mentioned, the men tip things off for Iowa next Tuesday against Robert Morris. I believe they host Western Illinois next Friday. And then, of course, the Oregon game is the next day. So it'll be a busy time in Iowa City coming up for sure. It is the bye week for the Hawkeyes. The Illini come home. They have 2 games coming up against Maryland and Rutgers, home games that are very winnable games. And Iowa State has another big game at home as well. So we'll talk with Jake Brend about that coming up this week as well. So a great time of year. Volleyball postseason on both sides of the river is getting rocking and rolling. We're going to keep an eye on that. Have some guests in with that as well. Soccer season is the same thing. Alleman won a regional championship once again this past weekend, their 3rd straight. Jack Went set the all-time single season scoring record for Alleman. They played tonight against IVC. We wish the Pioneers the best of luck. So not just football and not just the start of basketball, but the other fall sports in a very fun time of year as well. So we'll keep an eye on those as we continue through the week and, of course, next week as well. We're trying to figure out Friday. Not sure if we're going to go on the road, we're going to stay in the studio or not. I will let you guys know most likely next Monday there will be no show. We're going to go to beautiful Detroit, Michigan this weekend. Take the kids up there and check out the Lions-Vikings game on Sunday. So with all of that travel and coming back, we're going to take a day off on Monday. I will, though, repost and push out the Iowa basketball preview shows, basically the shows we did from Media Day. We'll get those back out on to you and push them a little bit more on Monday to give you something to get you through your Monday and get you ready for the college basketball season as well. So once again, thank you to our guests today. Thank you guys for watching, whether it's on YouTube, whether you're watching in Central Iowa, whether you're listening to us, whether you're on X. We appreciate all of it. Thank you to our sponsors, most importantly, for allowing us to do this each and every weekday right here in the Quad Cities. We thank you guys for watching. We will see you guys back here once again coming up tomorrow.